It gives me a great pressure when I understand that Kenyans lead in some fields, not just leading in some fields, leading on issues where even the first world, the so-called developed world, copy from us. We have had two examples. The first one is the main one, which is the subject of this episode, is public opinion polls. But the other one is what we call M-Pesa. Today, worldwide, M-Pesa is now the currency. And I can tell you that 10 days ago, uh, I went to a shop, was buying something, gave out some money, and when they gave me change, I had to spend time trying to calculate to see if I've been given the wrong change or the right change or the better change. The right change is the amount I'm supposed to be given. The wrong change is being shortchanged, and the better change is when you give out 50 shillings, you buy something worth 30 shillings, and they give you 70 shillings change. That is the better change. You have shortchanged the shopkeeper. I had that problem because for quite some years now, I don't handle cash. It is just M-Pesa and whatever. Pochi la biashara, pay bill, till number, so on and so forth. So we are proud as Kenyans to have invented something that has revolutionized the world. That one I'm happy. We have also led in the issue of opinion polls. For those of you who can remember, just before 2022, all opinion polls had indicated elections would go one side. But when the results came, they went the other side. I remember somebody, I'll not mention him, but I love him more than I love my own siblings. His father was called Japheth, just like my father, and his mother is called Lucy, just like my mother. So whenever I meet him, I say, the brother that I didn't have. Now, what was happening was that we had a heated debate, argument with him, where he was telling me, he showed me and said, look at this. Every media house had said that the elections would go this way, but the results have come. Is that not rigging? And I talked to him. I think I'll send him this video for him to get it that it now has happened in the US. We have been having public opinion, and it has some challenges. Let me tell you, and I'm not giving the 13 keys like that professor, no, but I'm just saying that the clearest, the most definite public opinion is what we call exit poll. Exit poll is usually the best public opinion poll. How do we do this exit poll? Before I go to the other kind of exit, of other public polls. Exit poll is when people have voted and the voter is leaving the voter is living at living at the polling station. So just outside the polling station, you identify yourself. I come from this and that media house, and we are carrying out public opinion. Can you tell us whom you voted for? So exit would say those who voted and were randomly checked, I think so and so would win. The other types of opinion polls, there are very many. But the initial one, which is still being used even today, is the type of public opinion where anytime, even immediately after the last election, people start going around knocking at the door. They go and knock at your door, say, we work for this and this pollster. And if elections were held today, whom would you vote for? It even starts as early as the last one as is just over. And in some countries, opinion polls are regulated in such a way that shortly before, opinion polls are regulated in such a way that shortly before the next election, let's say a day or even hours to the next election, you are not supposed to carry out public opinion. So it happens that way again and again and again. But the first problem that comes with such this opinion poll and any other opinion poll is simple. Who hired the opinion poll company? Remember, there is a saying that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. Now, if I, being a supporter of so and so, approaches a pollster and tell them that in this ward, I want to know who stands the best chance to be the MCA, and the pollster know whom I'm for, it is quite possible for the polls to show that my candidate is the one who can win that. So that is the original way where they used to knock at people's door. Later on, they came and introduced a new system where they could mail in questions. You go to the what do you call post box and get a card which requests you to say whom you could vote for. That was another way, which was mailed in opinion poll. Although even in America they even allow voting through mailing, but today we are talking about opinion poll. The other one is calling. They pick a random number and call it to you. Now here is the problem, and that problem has been going on, and it started with Kenya. They choose randomly. For example, they decide after every 6 houses, they knock the 7th. After every 6 houses, they knock the 7th. Or when they are seated somewhere, the way I'm seated here, they just look people going, leave 6 or 7 people to go. The next one, they ask him or her the question. They also have this thing about balancing, because in the ward, the population of people, maybe ladies are 60%. So when they have to put that into consideration. They also have to put into consideration uh, cultural differences. It would look very bad if in one place where the 2 dominant tribes are, and you end up having 60% of the respondent from one tribe. 60% of the respondent from one tribe. Unless that tribe has a population of 60% in that place, so that thing has to be, those who are setting up the questions have got to really question that. I have several times met people on a few occasions, people who do that. I remember one time we were a place where lawyers stay and discuss politics. We were there and we used to talk, and then coincidentally, somebody was approached by a pollster. You know, pollsters have a skeleton staff. So what do they do in the time when they are carrying on public opinion? They get temporary people to work for them. You are approached, can you work for us for a week? And each day you'll be getting this and this. This fellow came to where we were seated. We used to discuss politics and told us that he had been hired. And when it came to the place of questioning people, that place we had, my political opinion was I was in the minority. We were about 40%, but the other one was 60%. But this person who was hired, remember, even you when you are called and you asked, are you politically active or whatever, utakata hiyo kazi ya wiki moja kusema oh mimi, no. So when he was hired temporary, he said that he is politically neutral. When he came, as I said, to the place where Louis has talked politics, he was among the 60% of one leaning one side. But when he started questioning us and filling in the forms, all the people whom he questioned were those who were siding with what he said. Then from there, he said the place was Riruta. So he said he has been told that Riruta he should question 5 people and 4 people at Kabiria. And then one person says, one of the people who was seated there was staying at Kabiria, said, let me take you to the people so you can see how it is. But then that is minor. Let me tell you one thing. There is an element of today's, people know today that public opinion sway voters. It happened in Kenya and it happened in the US. We led for the, for, imagine on this rare occasion we led. Now what happened in the 2 occasions is that the media houses, which do want one side to win and not the other side, what they do is they craft it to show that the candidate that they want is the one leading if elections are held today. We have an element like Kenya in 2022. Look at the media houses. Standard Media Group, owned by Moi family. The Star newspaper, owned by what do you call Kiprono. Kiprono, his grandfather is the one who brought up Kiprono Kitonyi. Now, not grandfather. When Kiprono Kitonyi's mother was getting married to Mr. Kitonyi, she insisted that there is a young man from my village who is very bright. If you want to marry me, you must educate that young man. Now, that young man who was bright was Moi. Now, if the Star newspaper is owned by a person who is basically Moi's relative, then you find a Standard Media Group owned by Moi family. You go to Royal Media, then you'll understand why all the media houses in 2022 were calling it for a person whom Gideon Moi was for. You get my point. Now that one also happened. And another thing, I've told you that where the owner of the media house wants, he will make sure that the public opinion comes so that those who are undecided can now decide to vote for the winning side. Or if you are to vote for somebody and you know that he or she is going to lose, then you don't go there. Then we have this problem of confidentiality. we are going to an extent where there is a time behind where we are coming from, where people would not feel, people would be free to tell which political side they are. You would say if elections are held today uh, between Deno and KJ, he or she will be free to tell you. But we are headed to a situation where people are not free to say so. People are not free. And when people are not free, it goes to this way that they look at you and then form an opinion. They may be wrong or they may be right. They look at you and say, huyu anakaa kama ni mtu wa fulani, yeah? So you tell the pollster that I'll vote for so and so, you just fall so short of saying I'll vote for your person. You just just tell that, oh, wewe nitapigia kwa tenge, nitapigia kwa tenge, Ole Tenges, nitapigia Ole Tenges kura, because you suspect that he is a, you suspect or even you have confirmed that he is so we are headed where people only God and the ballot booth will know whom they have voted for. So I think the lessons that we learned in Kenya in 2022 and the lessons that the USA has learned, because if you look at it, there is from the time when Muhana Mwisu Hamala became the candidate, immediately she overtook Donald Trump. And what Donald Trump did was just go near and near her. But there's no time he got her. But when the results came, things were very much high. So that is what, and also, I would say that opinion polls, people should now understand, even in Kenya and in the US and other countries, that polling based on tribes, races, and so on is gone. If the percentage of blacks would have voted for Democrats, if the percentage of these other people would have voted the way they have been voting, then Mkhana Mwiso Hamala would have been the president now. So, opinion poll people in future just understand that opinion polls in the future just understand that nowadays, just going to a constituency where there is Keyos and Marakwet, and then you count the number of Keyos, they are more than Marakwet, and you say the next MP would be a Keyo, just understand that it is overtaken. I think you should do research and know what is now enticing voters to elect the way they are voting. I have conducted public opinion when I was working for the NIS, and they used to be very accurate. They used to be very accurate, except one where we were very wrong. But I'll tell you how this one we were wrong. It had to do with a person whom the district commissioner did not want, and the district commissioner wanted William Kanyongu Shindano to be the MP for Kapenguria. So Pokots being illiterate, they were being told, umekuja kupiga kura, and they would be given, they never visited the ballot booth. They would be told, umekuja kupiga kura, chukua iweke kwa sanduku. They were being given already marked ballot papers, which they placed in the ballot box. So that is how it is. But what I can tell you, obviously I don't know how the NIS today is doing so because I'm no longer there. But I would tell you, if you went to the NIS and asked them for a sincere opinion poll, they'll tell you who will win. And I can tell you they'll come up to, they don't even have this margin of error. No, no, no. They would tell you, and when the results come, they will come exactly as they have said. But why does it happen that way? I'll tell you one secret. Let us say it is 10 days to election and an opinion poll is carried on. Don't you know that if that opinion poll is published publicly, it affects the voting pattern? It affects the voting pattern in so many ways. There are those people who want to vote for you, but see that you are lagging behind, so they'll not come. There are those who want to vote for you, but because they see you are lagging behind, they will come out, they will go door to door. There are those who will vote for you and see that you are leading. So they'll find no need of going to campaign for you. They'll just stay at home. Even on the election day, they'll not go and vote because their person has already won. So, in short, is that these opinion polls, when they're carried, especially towards the end of the campaign period, they do affect. Actually, they can be the cause of someone being voted in or voted out. Viewers, thank you for watching my video and the feedback. Thank you.